This happened when my son Julian was 6. He's always been bright, articulate, curious, a little quiet. I was a single mom, and we were really close. So when he started becoming withdrawn, I noticed right away. He stopped sleeping through the night. I'd find him curled in the closet, holding his blanket, whispering things to himself. I asked him what was wrong. He said, "She doesn't like you." I asked, "Who?" "My real mommy." That floored me. I thought maybe he was talking about my mother, who passed away before he was born. But no, he was specific. "She lived in the greenhouse before you did. She had a dog and long red hair. She sang me songs in the dark. We did move into a greenhouse 6 months earlier. But the owners before us were an elderly couple. No kids. No pets." He said, "My other mommy got stuck in the walls after the fire. She can't find me. But she knows you took me." I didn't know how to respond to that. A week later, I heard humming in the middle of the night. It wasn't coming from Julian's room. It was from inside the hallway wall. I followed it, and as I got closer, the humming stopped. Then Julian screamed from his room. I ran in. He was huddled under his bed, shaking. "She said she found me," he cried. "She said you're the one who let her burn." The next morning, I asked an old neighbor about the previous owners. She hesitated, then told me, before the elderly couple, there was a woman with a child. There had been a fire. The boy died. The mother was never found.
This happened in 2019. I was taking care of my niece Maya after my sister went overseas for work. Maya was 4, sweet, quiet, obsessed with tea parties and pink stuffed animals. She started talking to someone named Mr. Pickles. I thought it was funny she'd have full conversations with him, tell me he helped her clean her room, or warned her when bad people came on TV. But then I noticed something strange. She'd whisper to him when I left the room. I'd hear giggling, whispers. The TV would flicker when he talked. One night, I found her crying in her room. She had drawn a picture of Mr. Pickles. It wasn't cute. It was tall with claws for fingers and dozens of tiny eyes. She said, "He's mad. He said you're too nosy. Maya, he's not real." "Yes, he is. He lives under the floorboards. He told me you have 5 days." I laughed it off. Kids say weird stuff, right? But then strange things started happening. All the clocks in the house reset themselves to 3:33 a.m. Her stuffed animals were rearranged every night. I found scratch marks under her bed, not from an animal, from inside the wood. 4 nights later, I had a nightmare. Something whispering in my ear. Tick-tock. Time's up. I woke to Maya standing at the edge of my bed, her eyes wide. "He's here now. He said you didn't listen." The power cut out. I heard something skitter across the floor behind her. I don't remember what happened next. Just that I woke up in the living room, surrounded by every light in the house turned on, and Maya was back asleep like nothing happened. When my sister came home, I begged her to get out of that house. She moved. But sometimes I still get phone calls from her number. No one speaks. Just a faint, childlike whisper. "He's watching you now."
The story I'm about to tell you happened in 2021, when my daughter Rosie was 5 years old. I had just moved into a new house in rural Oregon. It was peaceful, far from the city noise, surrounded by tall pine trees. I'd left my abusive ex and finally felt safe for the first time in years. Rosie adjusted well, at least, at first. But within a few weeks, she started acting strange. She would freeze in the hallway, stare at corners, or whisper to someone I couldn't see. I chalked it up to imagination. One night, I found her curled up in the hallway, too afraid to go into her own room. "He's standing next to my bed," she whispered. "Who, baby?" "The tall man with no eyes. He's watching you sleep." That chilled me. But again, just nightmares, right? Then things escalated. I'd wake up to doors open that I swore I locked. My keys went missing. One night, I found her toys arranged in a perfect circle on the kitchen floor, something Rosie never did. Then came the final night. I heard whispering over the baby monitor. Rosie wasn't a baby, but I kept it on for comfort. I assumed she was talking in her sleep, until I heard a deep voice whisper back. I bolted into her room. Rosie was sitting up in bed, eyes wide, frozen. "He's mad you locked the back door," she said. "What?" "He wanted to come inside. But I told him no." My heart dropped. I checked the back door. It was unlocked. And worse, the muddy footprints on the floor didn't match mine, or Rosie's. We left that house within the week. To this day, Rosie still draws him, a tall shadow with no eyes. She says he follows people who feel safe.